All right, so I just kind of want to open by, sending condolences to Greg Knapp's family. I didn't know Greg that well, but as a member of the, kind of coaching family in the National Football League, I just want to send condolences to his family, to the New York Jets, Coach Sala, their staff. My sympathies and prayers go out to his family. It's a tragic accident, and I just kind of want to say that, publicly, um, before we got started here. As far as kind of training camp, the players reported today. We're excited to get started, um, uh, and with that, I'll open it up to questions. We're excited to work with X and all the players that are here. Um, those conversations with X, his representation, Chris, myself. Those are, like always, they're going to be internal, confidential, and it'll always be that way. We'll keep it, that way. We do that with all players, and but we're excited to have him. I'm excited to work with him. He's a great player, and look forward to kind of, building over the course of training camp. Well, I mean, you know, his ability to practice, build chemistry, build camaraderie. You look every year, it's a new team. So playing with different players. There's a few different players in the secondary, few different players really throughout the team. Uh, getting acclimated to a new building, new facility. I mean, there's a lot of things that are good with having him here, and that's the case with all our players. So we're excited to have them all here, work with them all, and um, try to improve and get better every day. Uh, you know, I never like to get into anyone's medical situation. Um, I've been pretty steadfast about that. Um, you know, I'll talk about my own. I'm vaccinated, um, but as far as anyone else's medical situation, I try to steer clear of that. But um, um, confident that we won't be at a. Yeah, I mean, we'll work through whatever the protocols are. Obviously, we did this all, the entire year last year, so whether it's masks. I mean, obviously, it's the restrictions have been lifted to a degree. I mean, we're sitting here, so um, no. To answer your question, I think we'll be able to work through whatever we need to work through uh, while following the protocols, obviously. My message to all the players is the same. Let's follow the protocols. Um, and do everything we can um, to allow ourselves the opportunity to meet, walk through, practice, and string good days together. Well, I mean, the only thing we can do is educate the players, um, talk to them about um, pros, cons. Obviously, that would be part of that conversation. But then at the end of the day, they got to make their decision, and we have to approach each day for the vaccinated and unvaccinated um, in a way that helps us, you know, go through our meetings, our walk through our practice, and get as much out of the training camp as we can. Yeah, Liam signed and everyone's here.
Brian, given the risk involved with forfeitures, as the commissioner kind of threatened, really, um, is it putting the team first? Is that part of the argument toward getting vaccines? Would you say?
I think for you know everyone's got their own personal reasoning behind or beliefs behind uh, vaccinations or getting vaccinated or not getting vaccinated. I mean, I respect everyone's um, choice in that matter. Um, you know, not going to pressure anyone. Just going to give them the information. Um, not going to judge anyone's commitment to the team, but just give them the information, allow them to make their choice, and then if we're going to work around something, we're going to work around it, and um, always try to do what's you know in the best interest of the team, given uh, you know whatever the situation may be. So, for example, if someone's vaccinated, someone's unvaccinated, then we have to just work around it and do the best we can. Yeah, I mean, I think it's always good to it's like it is like the first day back to school. There's guys you haven't seen in a few you know weeks, months. Uh, so guys are excited to see one another and uh, you know check out the new facility again. Um, I think kind of get acclimated. I think that's part of these first couple of days for us. Here's the weight room. Here's the training room. The coaches' offices are here. Our meeting rooms are here. This is the first time I've been back here, so the press conference rooms here. So um, yeah, it's got that kind of vibe. I think we try to improve every day. I think that's really what we're looking for. It's not really you don't see it year to year. I mean, you see it really more day to day, and if you string enough good days together, you know, I would say over time you see that improvement, but it's more gradual than anything. Um, so I think if we've seen improvement from a player, um, it's something that we've probably already tracked, and then games are different. You can see improvement, and then you get into a game and you don't get the production. So at the end of the day, these preseason games are going to be important. You know, regular season games are important. Um, but yeah, you can see guys' ability to retain the information, apply um, the techniques, the fundamentals. You kind of can see that on the practice field, and normally that turns into production on the field.
What were some of the things that crossed your mind when you decided to move practice to sort of late morning, if not early afternoon, as opposed to 8 a.m. starts?
Um, Meeting time, I would say. I think we normally started at 9:45. I don't recall last year's schedule, uh, but normally we meet in the morning. Maybe get a quick walkthrough and then hop out on the field quickly. Um, but I mean, we've practiced a few different ways. But we just felt like the 10:30 spot, this year would be best. Is that what you're alluding to, or
Yeah,
the
I thought, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought you were starting practices earlier in
earlier?
previous years.
Oh, yeah. I think it's roughly around the same time, or maybe a little bit later.
So on Preston Williams, is he medically cleared to practice, and is there anyone else who might not be ready to practice on the first day?
Um, so Preston's going to start on PUP. Um, he's done a good job with his rehab. He's working his way back. And he'll start on PUP, and there's a couple other guys. I'm not gonna. We're not. We're. We'll see how this goes on the conditioning test, but Preston will start on PUP. Uh, I mean, there's no in my mind. There's not really a depth chart. I mean, you got to put a first group out there and a second group out there, and a third group out there. But everyone's competing. Everyone gets an opportunity, and really, what you're trying to do is put, you know, give everyone a chance um, to showcase their ability. And I think it's one thing to do it in an OTA setting, with shorts on, and another thing to do it with pads on. So, I think training camp is about letting everyone have that opportunity. So, base formations, um, base, coverages, schemes, and then let them go out there and play, see who can play. So I think that's a lot of what training camp's about. I'm not really, this is the first group, this is the second group. I think everyone's competing. Um, I think you always go into it with, all right, this is who we project to be, the first group. But I think I try to keep an open mind and say, anything can happen. I've seen guys go, from an OTA, and the light bulb goes off, and they come and have a great training camp, and then you have a lot of discussions about who really is the starter. So I try to keep an open mind. We'll do that. But we expect everyone to compete, um, be ready to go, and I think it'll be a very competitive training camp. I mean, we talked a lot about Tua in the spring. I think he's, um, you know, made a lot of progress, I would say, throughout the spring. Um, this is really his first training camp. Um, well, I shouldn't say his first training camp. That was his first OTAs, but this will be his first training camp preseason, where he'll be able to, meet, practice, you know, perform in games, healthy, all of it. So we're excited about, two. We're really excited about all the quarterbacks, Jacoby, Reed. They'll all get an opportunity to compete, um, as well as the rest of the guys on the entire team. Practice 6, so I don't have the exact date, and that's about right for me because I'm really kind of focused on this conditioning test we're about to get to, and then practice tomorrow. So today's the 27th. I mean, I got to look at a calendar. I don't know the exact date. Tuesday. Great. Tuesday.